Right, let's get this party started. That's the good stuff. Hi, it's Scola and welcome back to Motivation Monday. So today we are going to be talking about being consistent and getting things done, achieving those goals, being successful. That is what we're all about. Right, so one of the things I struggled with the most last year was consistency. I just could not stick to something for long enough, or as long as I really needed to. So I think the one thing I stuck to the longest last year was about 2 months. It just wasn't enough for the goal that I had set out. Right, so let's talk about consistency, my tips for staying consistent, things that have worked for me in the past, and things that are even working for me in the first week of this year. I've already seen such amazing results in this first week of 2020 being consistent. So I'm going to share some of the things I've been doing and also things I've done before that have really worked. So before I even get into talking about consistency, what I want you guys to do is sit there and think of a goal that you achieved and think about how you achieved it. Anything that you are proud of, anything that you managed to do, and then think about what did you do in the lead up to achieving whatever it is you achieved. Odds are you will start to realize that it didn't happen overnight. It's not like you just woke up that day and you said, I want to do this. You had to put in some time and some work to get that done. And if you look at the definition of consistent, it is just doing so. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but it was like doing something over a matter of time. Okay, you get what consistent is. Okay, so if I use myself as an example, my first half marathon, I've run quite a few half marathons actually, but one of the things that helped me to achieve my half marathons and cross that finish line and feel good about myself was weeks, if not months of training. I could not physically just run a half marathon with zero training. I would have died. So one of the first things that has helped me to be consistent is to plan. You have got to make some sort of plan. I say this on my channel all the time. If you know, then you know. Planning is one of my favorite things to do. If you want an idea on how much I love to plan, I've got a calendar right there. You can't see it. We're currently in my office, which is why I've got so many planny things going on in here. But I've also got a massive whiteboard over there where I just like to plan things, brainstorm. I've got a little post-it note booklet that has like to-do stuff in it right here on my desk. I also have one by my bedside table in case I think of something I need to plan out. I have a little like just notebook where I like to write things down, ideas that I have. So these are all things that just go into planning, making things happen. I also have my 2020 planner. This was actually kindly gifted to me by Bloggalates. If you don't know Cassie, then you need to get to know. But she has this wonderful planner. It's actually a fit planner, so if you have fitness goals, it's the perfect thing for you. This is not sponsored or anything. I'm just loving using this planner. You might not be a very like paper person like I am. I like having physical things to plan with, but if you're more of a digital person, you want to use your apps and your phone and your computer to plan things. There are many apps and stuff like that that can help you do that as well. I wouldn't know of them because I'm more of like, I need to write things on paper. I need to write things down. This is the way I am. But just allocate even just an hour of your time just to plan whatever it is you want to do. Also keep in mind that not every plan has to be the same. For example, my diet plan and my workout plan are completely different the way they're set up. My diet plan is very strict, very rigid, but it's because that's how I know I will succeed. It's just the way that I work. I need more structure when it comes to my diet, whereas my workouts, I know naturally I like to move my body. I like to get up and do things every day, so I don't need to be like, this is exactly the workout I'm doing. I can be a bit more flexible with that. So my workout plan is a lot more flexible, whereas my diet plan is a bit more strict. And I thought I'd actually just mention with that, I'm reading this book called The Organized Mind. I haven't even really gotten into it, to be honest with you. It's sort of like a slow starter, but I've learned a few good things so far, and actually things that I already knew. For example, your brain gets tired of making decisions in a day. There's only so many decisions you can make before your brain just starts to fatigue and not make the best decisions, basically. So planning ahead really stops that whole like decision fatigue, because you've already set things in place, so you don't have to wake up and decide, what am I gonna eat? For example, I've been eating the exact same thing every day for the past week now, and that sounds pretty intense, but it worked for me because I found that I was using a lot of brain power to decide what to eat, because there's so much choice. The best way to streamline this so I don't get tempted, I don't get confused, if I just eat the same thing every day, I know what I'm doing. I don't have to like use extra brain power into deciding what to make and then making it and then inputting that information into my fitness pal, because I'm calculating and tracking everything. So just knowing it's all planned and it's all done, it just takes the extra stress off. Like I don't even have to think of it. So the second thing you're gonna need to think about is your why. Why are you doing whatever you want to do to be consistent at? Think about why you are doing what you are doing. I feel like this is something we skip so much. We like just set a goal and it's like, why? Like, I want to lose weight. Okay, but why? Like, why, sis? Why are we doing this? Or why are we here? Have you ever been asked to do something and you don't know why you've been asked, and you're just like, but why? Like, why? Did anyone go through that stage when they were younger, where they would just ask their parents? Like, I would always ask my mom why. I went through the stage where she'd be like, do this. I don't know why I would even try it with a Zimbabwean mum, to be like, but why? So knowing your why, it really does help. So something that goes with finding out your why, it will help to keep you motivated, because motivation is very temporary, but if you know why you're doing something, it'll give you that little bit of a kick that you need every day. It's not quite motivation, but it's just that little push that you need. So just keep that in mind as well when you're trying to be consistent, is that you're not going to feel the need to be consistent every day. You're not going to feel the motivation to be consistent every day. A little cool thing you can do in here is like write your mood. And so last week, I think I only had 2 days where like I put the full-on smiley face, and then the other days it was either just like a or it was like I had a bad day. But it just goes to show that you only really have a few good days. I mean, everyone is different, so if you have a more sunnier disposition to life, maybe you'll find yourself feeling happy and motivated a lot of the time. Whereas I know for me personally, I will only have a matter of days of motivation before it disappears, and the other days I'm just like, why am I doing this? So yeah, that's just a huge thing to really think about, the fact that not every day will be the best day, so you won't always feel like, yes, I'm gonna get everything done. So my last tip for consistency, I would say, is being resilient. This is a word, I don't know why, that's just been on my mind a lot, but it's just being more resilient to just external factors, because I feel like external factors is what sort of affects your consistency. Like, you know, if everything was the same every day, you would be so consistent because nothing would change. But for example, for me, in the last week of me with my health and fitness goals, I've had a lot of tests that have meant I've had to be resilient against all of those tests and make sure that I stay focused on what I want to achieve. So for example, I do my best when I'm just at home and I'm eating at home all day. I can go and work out when I need to work out. I'm getting things done. But as soon as I leave the house, I have a day where I'm going out doing stuff. Last week, I went out to eat twice, I believe. And both of those meals, your girl was on it. I stayed on my diet plan. I did not stray. I did not get tempted. I managed to keep it together. I was resilient. You see, I was resilient. So those have been my tips for being consistent, and these are things that have really helped me in the last week just to stay consistent. Just a little bit of an update with my health and fitness, which is something that's really at the top of my goal list. I have managed to lose 6 pounds in the last week. I managed to work out, I can't remember how many days did I work out. So it's been about 10 days, and I think I've had like 3 rest days out of those 10 days, so I'm doing pretty well. My diet has been on point, and I'm just being consistent. Like, consistency is at the top of my mind at the moment. I feel like every day I wake up and I'm like, Scola, you have to do it, because there's no other option. Like, if I just don't do what I need to do today to achieve whatever I need to achieve, then, you know, life is gonna stay the same. And if I don't want that, then I need to make a change. I need to do something. And that's something that I just keep reminding myself every day, is just that, like, you want things to change. They're not going to change by themselves. You're going to have to make little changes every day. You're going to have to be consistent every day if you want to really see results in any area of your life. okay? I am thinking of starting up a little bit of a glow up challenge, not just focused on health and fitness, but all areas and aspects of life and stuff like that. So if you do want to get involved, do comment down below. Let me know if you want me to start a challenge. But for now, what I've been doing is posting in my Facebook group that's called Better, and just keep you guys updated with how I'm doing with my goals and all that kind of stuff. So you want to keep up to date with that, go and check that out. And I might start like a nice little series, vlog what I'm up to, so you guys can see how I'm being consistent and on it. So yeah. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay luscious, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.